Hey everybody, it's Melissa Kim Corder, and I'm going to walk you through a experience that is for uncertainty. We're going to be working with uncertainty. I chose this topic for this time for obvious reasons. Our world today is going through some really interesting challenges, and as humans walking this path, we're encountering so many different things: emotions, thoughts, feelings, uncertainty, the responses of other people, whether we agree with them or not. We're walking all of this, navigating it all together, right? And so I wanted to share with you a tool that has been very pivotal for any life changes I've gone through. When I had the ability to access this tool, to work with this tool, because the truth is, a lot of times when I would get into fears or be afraid or just so bogged down with stress, I couldn't think clearly. I wasn't able to go to my tools, go to the things that work for me. And I find this happens a lot for people that have a similar reaction. It's like, I know I should do this, but I just don't know why I don't, right? I know that this would help me, but I just don't do it. I know I should drink more water. I know I should go for a walk. I know I need to spend time alone or meditate, but... And so this tool has been a gateway for me because it doesn't take anything special, which means it's one less barrier of an excuse, right? You don't have to have an experience like when I do hypnosis. You want to be alone. You want to have, the world shut out. You got to be in a certain space where you can lay down. You can be open to receive. You can't have interruptions. You kind of have to stop the world a little bit for hypnotherapy. And so I love this tool, tapping, the emotional freedom technique, because it is an active tool. Hypnosis is passive. We can lay down, we can receive, tune in. Some people will leave their bodies. Some people will kind of check out and, not really remember all of it or remember pieces of it. Some people have profound experiences. It's all over the place. But the common thing with hypnosis that I struggled with was being able to keep people in their body. There's nothing I could do to keep them in their body if I'm working at them or working with them at a distance or over the phone through Skype or even sending them recordings. I couldn't bring them back if they were checking out. So with tapping, it's active. You're engaged, you're working with it, you're present, you're learning how to be here, you're learning how to stay with it, you're learning how to feel the feelings, but in a way that allows you to process and move through things at your own pace. With hypnotherapy, which is still one of my favorite tools, one of my absolute favorite tools, it can, people who have not yet learned how to feel safe feeling emotion or working through things can sort of disappear in it. And I wanted to work with them in a way that was more grounded and was supporting their higher self and at the same time their humanness, right? So these tools together are just profound. But today I'm going to work with you on tapping, specifically for uncertainty, okay? So I'm going to go over the very basics. I'm not going to give you a whole crash course on tapping. I have all of that stuff on my website. In fact, I have a free video. It's all about tapping and how to do it. Right now, what I'm just going to go into is, think of this as emotional acupressure, okay, or energetic acupressure. It is an evidence-based approach, which means there is lots of data and scientific evidence that can show changes in the brain, in the body, and what happens for people when they practice this tool. And it can be used for really just about anything. It's a matter of you feeling comfortable enough to explore a situation, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. You do not have to relive experiences if that is something that would cause more discomfort or more distress. But you can have memories, thoughts, events surface while you're tapping. So I just wanted to kind of let you know. So if that's not something you are willing to explore or doesn't feel safe for you, please honor that and consider just doing a little bit of tapping without going too deep into the experience. What brings us deeper into the experience is our willingness to explore the feelings, the emotions, and our words. So the word choices that we use are very important when we do tapping, okay? So tapping, again, is like energetic acupuncture. So with acupuncture, we would use needles in different parts of the body that correspond with the meridians in Chinese medicine. And we're still working with the meridian system in tapping or emotional freedom technique, but the difference is we are tapping on those points instead of using needles. And we tap on the main points that affect our energy system, which also happen to connect to various emotions that we may be storing within the body or suppressing within the mind. And when you tap, you're essentially taking your body into a relaxed state. Now, it doesn't mean that when you tap, you're just gonna feel totally at peace instantly, right? Some people that actually happens, but think of it as a shift. So with tapping, we always start with the scale, the emotional scale, to kind of see where you're at. And this emotional scale is based on a specific emotion that you want to work with, a sensation. You can start with the physical body, which is monitoring or engaging with discomfort or pain. So when we would use the scale, let's say it's from 0 to 10, we would think of pain, like where on that scale is our current level of pain? Are we at an 8, which would be the intense, right? Or even up to a 10, the most intense it can be. 0, no pain whatsoever, totally comfortable. Now you do the same thing with your emotion. So if you're working with sadness, grief, fear, you could say, well, 0, meaning I don't feel any of those things. I feel neutral. I feel pretty calm and at peace. 10, meaning I'm terrified. Maybe it's even hard for me to speak or to think clearly or to articulate my thoughts, to put into words. Like I can't even, I'm overwhelmed, right? So max is 10, 0 is void of those feelings in that manner, being totally at ease or at peace, okay? So you always use the scale before you start for whatever you want to work on. 0 to 10, you write your number down. So let's take a minute here and let's think about uncertainty, because that's what we're going to be tapping on together. And I just want you to think about that word and what does that bring up for you? Okay, we're going to do this so that it's kind of a broad overview. So it's going to speak to each of you a little bit differently. When you think of the unknown, uncertainty, the unknown, I don't know where my next meal's going to come from. I don't know if I'm going to be able to put, have a roof over my head next month. I don't know if my job is still going to be there. These are real things people are struggling with right now. I don't know if I'm going to get sick or somebody I care about. I don't know if it's going to keep getting worse, right? There's so much unknown that we're being inundated with in this moment because of what we're all walking through together in this world. And so the unknown can bring up fear, even terror for people. It can bring sadness or anger, right? There's no right or wrong way. It's just whatever is present for you. Another aspect of this is the physical body. So we are working with the physical body and the emotional body in order to help create a sense of ease. And I want to say relief actually is the key word, because when we can feel relief from anything, that means that we are shifting and helping the body move into a balanced state of ease or more comfort. It may not feel like ease yet. It may not feel like peace yet. But if we're thinking of that scale from 0 to 10, and if you were absolutely terrified and now you're nervous is good, right? Because it's shifting. So that's why I want you to think of it in that scale and not compare what you're feeling to what somebody else's experience is. Somebody else feeling anxious is their number 10. For you, that could be your number 3, right? So think of it that way. So write down your number when you think of the unknown, what all of this is bringing up for you. Think about that. What is going on? Where's your number? I'm going to say for myself right now, it's about a 6, which is surprising because I felt really good. But I'm also starting to kind of feel some of the other people's stuff. That's something I am working on, creating better boundaries around, is feeling other people's stuff. So I'm sensing a little bit of that right here, right now, along with my own that's starting to come up. So yeah, let's say 6 or 7. So I'm going to write that number down. And please do, because you're going to come back and we're going to do this again to see how effective it was for you. I'm going to put a 6 for my number, okay? So now when it comes to tapping, don't worry about how hard to tap. You want to find a comfortable pressure, and you're activating the points. And so each point we're going to tap on, now I don't want you to count either, okay? But it is nice to do about 7 to 10. And when you first start tapping, you'll realize why you don't need to count, because you're going to do by far more than 7 to 10 as we move through this. So once you find that little bit of a rhythm, you can let that part go. Don't think about how many of these you're doing, okay? And the same thing with the points. So we're going to go in an order, but as you're tapping, I want you to sink more into your feeling and your words versus watching where I am along the pathway of the points, okay? Because that's not important. What's important is what's going on in your world, in your body, and in your emotions, okay? So the tapping points we're going to use, the first one is karate chop point. It's on the back of the hand, somewhere around this spot. So I just use a couple fingers to sort of cover the base of the entire area. Okay. So that's karate chop point. Now you can use either hand, either side. Some people go back and forth. That's just too much for me. I just stick with one hand. Doesn't matter which side of the body. You can do both as we go through as well. Okay. I just tend to use one. A lot of times I'm also would be like guiding clients through this or working with them. So I just got used to doing one so I could also see them on Zoom or on our calls. Okay. Next, so after we have the karate chop point, at the end we will use the crown. So we probably won't use this point much at all during the actual phase except for at the end. Crown point. Okay. Inner eye. So it's going to go karate chop, inner eye, outer eye, under the eye, under the nose, chin point, and collarbone point. Now, the collarbone point is actually, you're gonna find your collarbone and then you would drop right beneath it a little bit. I have the necklace on, makes it a little hard. That's why I take my whole hand and I just go like this, because it covers that entire area, okay? So I just like to get that area there. Whole hand, flat hand, all the way across that part. Okay. Now there's another one, which is the under the arm. I don't tend to use that much. I don't always feel guided to use that. I'm showing it to you in case we do today, because it's an intuitive process. Okay. And that's basically all of the main points that we're going to be using together today. If I say a word and it doesn't resonate for you, switch it, say something else. And yes, I would like for you to repeat out loud. Your voice, engaging your voice, is a huge part of this. If you're just tapping and listening to me, you're just listening, but your subconscious needs to hear your voice. It wants to hear your voice. It's used to your voice, right? So if you're tapping along, you're going to speak out loud after me. So I pause after everything I say for you to repeat. So it's like call and response kind of a thing. But again, your response, you can change the word. If I use the word anger and you're like, mine is sadness, just say sadness. If I say something that doesn't resonate for you, leave it out. Say something that does connect for you, okay? I just say things sort of as a template for the experience, but it's really up to you to tune in to what your needs are, okay? First of all, remember your number. Mine, uncertainty. When I think of the unknown, what does that mean for me right now? I'm going to say a 6. It's a 6, okay? So I wrote down my number. So take a minute now and write down your number. Okay? Now I want you to begin connecting with your breath. So the physical body is such a huge part of this experience. Breath moves energy. Breath is also part of our divinity. It's a part of us allowing this connection and flow of life in and out. We release toxins through our breath. We take in air, oxygen that allows us to activate nutrients within the body, to actually absorb things from our food, to be able to take in the essence of life, right? And so as we're tapping, I'm going to have you pause and connect to your breath very purposefully in specific parts of the experience. And I want you to do your best to connect to your breath. Here we go, okay? So you wrote down your number, and now I think of uncertainty as we start to tap on the karate chop point. And breathe. We're not going to do this for long. We're just going to do a very short tapping session so you get an idea of this. But I want you to pay attention to what it feels like in your body. So for me, I sometimes close my eyes to do that. And I want to give myself permission to be with this right now. And so I'm saying that out loud very purposefully, and I would like you to do the same. I give myself permission to be with this. I give myself permission to feel my feelings. I give myself permission to create a new experience. Now we're going to move through the points at your own pace, but you can follow along. I'm willing to stay in my body. As I remove my attention from any stories that may be in my mind, any stories of lack or fear, any stories from the media or even those I love, any stories that are being created from my subconscious fears. I'm willing to be in my body and take that power from those stories and give it to myself. Now breathe. I'm willing to support myself during this time. I am willing to pause and to find my truth. I'm willing to welcome the unknown. Now pause here, close your eyes, and just breathe. Just feel. Drop in a little deeper. And listen to your body. If you feel guided to move or to stretch, do so. And then open your eyes and let's continue. I allow awareness to be here. In this space. The space between my perception and other people's experiences. I allow awareness to be here. And I surrender to my breath. Now breathe. Slow, deep breaths. And in your mind, I want you to say the word surrender as you breathe. Surrender. Surrender. I'm willing to surrender to my breath. I'm willing to trust the unknown. I allow my body to find balance. It is safe for me to acknowledge my feelings. It is okay for me to decide the boundaries that I need to put in place. I allow the innate intelligence within me to meet me in this space of awareness. It is safe for me to acknowledge this part of myself. Deepen your breath. Breathing in, breathing out. Relax your shoulders. Slow it all down. I access my power to co-create with the universe. I have the power to choose how I respond. I am empowered to change my mind. I am empowered to state my needs. I am empowered to establish healthy boundaries. I hold the power here within me. It's not out there in the world. It's within me right here, right now. I give myself permission to access my power. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to wrap this up. So I want you to go to the top of your head. This is where we receive, we're letting this in, we're integrating, we're deeply believing in what we're creating for ourselves. The unknown brings me miracles. My consciousness already is within the unknown. My higher self knows what's to come. I allow in the good. I receive the blessings of this time. I honor my needs. I'm willing to allow my wisdom to come through. Now relax your hand down to your sides and close your eyes. Just feel. With your eyes closed, just listen to my words and let them soak into your being. I bless my future self with abundance, power, and confidence. I allow the unknown to bring me peace. I allow the unknown to be a blessing. I receive the gifts the unknown has for me. I receive the miracles the unknown is willing to give me. The unknown is what I make it to be, and in this moment, I choose to fill it with peace. Deepen your breath. One last inhale and exhale together. Open your eyes and now ask yourself what your new number is. From 0 to 10, when you think of the unknown, how does it feel? Mine went from a 6 to a 2. Now, for some people, it is possible for your number to go up because you have more tapping to do, and that's okay. You might have words that you need to say that I didn't say, that you need to express. So your number could actually go up to an 8, a 9, or a 10. You might feel worse right now. So if that's the case, pause, do some tapping, ask, what do I need to release? What do I need to say? What do I need to acknowledge? For some of us, and there's no right or wrong to this, but for some, we need to spend more time in the positivity piece, right? For others, we need to spend more time in the acknowledging the pain or the discomfort or whatever's going on. People can be very afraid to give that attention because they think they're going to create it. But remember, you're not creating it, you're giving it an outlet. It's something that wants to leave you, not come towards you, okay? But a lot of times we'll block or suppress because we feel like we don't want to create or we're afraid to look or to see what's going on. But if you can have that idea or awareness that whatever's going on is trying to leave you, it's not coming in to get you, you're freeing yourself of it. That's why this is also called the emotional freedom technique. So I hope that you've enjoyed this and that it served you. And if you have any questions, please just let me know. And I bless you all with wonderful health and abundance and peace, that you may find your own peace. So thank you so much and take care.